through the entire country, North and South Island. And as you can see here in the deep south, we don't exactly suffer from gridlock. Flying is a base for the Otago Rescue Helicopter. A Royal New Zealand Air Force flying training station was opened here in 1939 through to the 1950s. The airport also served as Dunedin's main airport up until 1962. The international airport was opened up in Mona, some 17 kilometres to the south on the left-hand side.
Mr. Chopper.
So Joe, our guard, reliably informs me that who shot the barman that just won the Sydney Cup this month. Built in 1872, designed by R.A. Lawson. Now, Robert Lawson was noted for buildings. A Salisbury estate was quite a large holding, consisting of around 2,000 acres of flat land surrounding the other side. We see that uniquely shaped hill. That hill is called Saddle Hill, easily recognised as described by Captain James Cook in 1770 as he sailed along the coastal side of the Tennessee. At the foot of Saddle Hill we have the township of Mosgiel, population 13,000. Mosgiel is a service centre for the Taieri Plains and their surrounding hill country. Also acts as a satellite suburb for Dunedin city. It's about 15 minutes drive from Dunedin. Built in 1887, the Wingatui Viaduct is 131 years old. It's 197 metres long and 47 metres high. Wingatui Viaduct is about the same height as the Carteret Bridge near Queenstown. It's used for the commercial bungee jumping operation. And as we travel around this curve to the left, if you look back to the rear of the train, you get a wonderful view of the viaduct from the side aspect. Of course, we will be back this way a little later, another opportunity for a photograph. And the Wingatui Viaduct, having stood here for 131 years, I can almost guarantee the viaduct will be here when we return. No telephone, no cell phone coverage. They just have to park their car on the other side of the tunnel we've just passed through. They walk through the tunnel to the house. Now the owner, Keith Garowe, keeps this place in immaculate condition. They're up here most weekends, and those lawns down there, well, they get cut whether they need it or not. The Taieri River is a very good fishing river. We'll stock with ground trout. Sometimes we bring anglers in here for a day or two of fishing with their gear. They catch the train out again. Now, if you wish to come into the gorge to fish, you really need to come in by train because there's only one convenient road access, and that is within them. And because access into the gorge is so difficult, most of the trout in this river die of old age. Mount Helen, we had a public works office, an explosives magazine, stables for the horses, engineers workshop, and also had a camp for the men. Construction camp here at Mount Helen was just one of several construction camps situated throughout the gorge during the building of the line. Now, I mentioned earlier that we had a major flood through here about 9 months ago. Very heavy rainfall, a lot of mud, slush, rocks and trees came down onto the line. It took us 8 weeks to get everything up and running again. Immense amount of damage done down here. On this property down here, or those logs backed up into the stream. People did live down here. They had to evacuate this property, leaving their vehicles in the mud.
That's where you put my car.
In 1863 by a prospector fossicking in the stream bed. And even though the Taieri River sometimes runs dirty or stained by tannin, Christmas Creek is normally clear. Sometimes we see trout here where the waters meet. Stretch of river, it's good fishing. This is the first of 2 combined road rail bridges that will cross over today.
Liz?
Now about to travel through the precinct of the Hinder.
Change seats.
Travelling over the steeper part of the gorge was known as going over the garden wall to the Garden of Otago. As we go over the garden wall, the parent of our garden wall is made of rock. This is the distinctive Otago schist, which they met.
You'd have to be a mountain goat to climb that.
Here from Auckland, is it?
Yep.
There's one tree hill, mate.
Oh, yeah.
But if you look from the base of the tree, you see a line coming down?
Yeah. Was it tea or coffee? Tea.
The trees on our right hand side are called larch. They are a member of the conifer family. Little different, the fact they lose most of their pine needles during the winter. And during the autumn time we get wonderful yellow-orange colours from these trees. We're now approaching what could be called the engineering highlight of our trip, the curved flat stream viaduct and the notches. And Andy will slow the train right down for this great trade opportunity. Now the reason why Andy will slow the train down, well, he missed the viaduct twice last week, so he'll slow the train down to make sure he gets it right this time. Now shortly ahead to the right we'll see the dark face of the notches, the most difficult piece of engineering in the whole of the Otago Central Line. But before we get there, across that other challenging piece of work, the curved flat stream viaduct, across over the viaduct, through a tunnel, then onto the notches. So when we exit the Six Tunnel, we'll traverse the notches. Now the notches were a real challenge. It took 2 years to do with his hands, and his workmate whacked the top of the bar with a sledgehammer. As you can imagine, great faithful, we needed in your fellow workers accuracy. And that loose stone we see down to the side, that is the stone that the workers just threw over the edge. The stone has been down there for 129 years.
When we get on that black bridge here, you look all the way back. Good fellow.
Cool.
Fleeting glimpse of it as we pass by. Passenger hold was opened here in 1906 at the Reef Station, which is just ahead of us, a little green building, to service Old Bearwood Gold Mine, some 2 kilometres to the south. The rock pillars run alongside the far side of the Taieri plain. They also form the western boundary of the city of Dunedin. And during this journey we remain within the boundaries of the city of Dunedin, the second largest city in the country. Auckland is larger, one of the largest cities in the world. Of course, most of our territory is farmland, about 95. Coming on the Taieri consists mainly of sheep, beef and deer, not so much dairy farming, generally lack water for irrigation purposes. Rainfall up here is about 400 millimetres a year, about half that of Dunedin. We're now about to pass through, situated here at the little railway station. Pukerangi is normally our outward destination for most of our train trips, as far as we normally go, but we'll start soon dropping down off the hill towards Middlemarch, a further 19 kilometres on, taking us about 30 minutes. road is crossed over at State Highway 87, which runs north through Middlemarch, joins up with State Highway 85, well the Pig Route is called, near the mountains we see in the far distance, Kakanui Mountains. Pig Route extends right through to central Otago. Now, if you haven't seen the movie, the first movie, the Hobbit series, Surprising Journey, you may recognise this country here because this is where Sir Peter Jackson filmed a scene in that movie. Over to the right there, we see that high ground that is called the Taieri Ridge. And the scene in that particular movie, we saw the dwarves being pursued by the orcs, and the dwarves finally headed to a cave. Years ago, the men toiled 10 hours a day, 6 days a week to complete the section of track, and families lived up there, and they boiled in the summer and froze in the winter. Temperatures can get up into the high 30 degrees Celsius region or as low as -10. It doesn't normally snow in the gorge, but we certainly do have hard frost. Now, just approaching the Flat Stream railway station, we're stopping here at the Flat Stream just for a moment or so to bring some more people onto the train. So while we are stopped here at Flat Stream, please stay on the train. Just be here for a moment while these people can get onto the train.
I was gonna say like the people would like us.
No, you're the boss. My boss is the one that's going to take you out of the fucking contract.
On the eradication of the wilding pine. Distinctive rock we see out there is our own Otago schist. It's a metamorphic rock formed by great heat and pressure from mineral sediments. Here at the time, cut down through the rock to form the gorge.
Yeah, you guys got any... I don't want to touch that. Rubbish.
While we are stopped here at Wenitui, please stay on the train. Once we exit Wenitui station limits, we'll be around 20 minutes train ride to Dunedin. Visitor to Dunedin, you have the chance to visit some of the other attractions the city has to offer. Now, people have luggage items placed in the guards van. Those items will be available on the platform of the van at the rear of the train. Please just check you have all your belongings with you before disembarking the train. Trust you enjoy the remainder of your afternoon here in Dunedin. Live help on behalf of the train staff, signing off. Thank you.
They're called bullets.
Stay in message. Try not to. Who wants to come with me?
Delete it, guys. Delete it. What would we do otherwise?
Stay in
What otherwise?
train station.
Wait, will we have to?
But we can really quick.
Like,